A mystery team. Oh man, this is big. There's actually a mystery team out there who's wanting to trade up in the NBA draft for, I think, soon-to-be superstar Jalen Green. This is huge. This is huge. So in today's video, I'm going to talk all about it. I'm going to give you who this team is. I'm going to tell you how this can actually happen. So, thanks for tuning into the channel today, everybody. My name is Troy. This is the Half Court Report. So glad you are here today. If it's your first time, you got to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Would love if you like this video to help get this content in front of the eyes of more people. Fresh NBA content all the time on this channel. So before we talk about who this mystery team is, let me give you a little bit of background on Jalen Green. He is a 6'6", two-guard wing player, was the top high school recruit coming into this year. He actually skipped college and he was playing for the G League Ignite team, and he did pretty well. Stats of 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, almost 3 assists, and his shooting wasn't too bad either. So this guy is projecting as one of the better scorers in this draft, and I think in a few years he could be one of the better scorers in the NBA because he has elite athleticism. He has a great feel for the game. He has competitive fire. All things teams are going to be looking for in this draft. He's really good at creating his own shot. He can score from all over the floor. He's pretty good from three right now, but I think he could be an elite shooter in the not too distant future because I think he has the work ethic to really work on his shot. He has the tools to be a lockdown defender, and he's not one of those guys who's just going to kill you on that end currently when he's on the floor. This guy is a legit top 5, maybe even top 3 pick in this draft. So how's this going to work in terms of how this mystery team can get him? So Cade Cunningham, I think, is pretty much a lock to go number 1 to Detroit. That means the Houston Rockets at number 2 would have the next chance to take Jalen Green. So in order for this mystery team to get him, they would have to make a trade with Houston to get Jalen Green. So what would Houston be looking for? I think they would be looking for young players, other draft picks, and maybe a team who can take off some of the extra salary that the Rockets currently have on their team. So enter the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a team that needs Jalen Green, and this is a team that has the assets that Houston would want to make a Jalen Green acquisition possible. Here's the trade. The Grizzlies would trade Jaren Jackson Jr., DeAnthony Melton, and their number 17 first-round pick in the 2021 draft to Houston for Eric Gordon and his really huge contract, along with the number 2 pick, who they would then use to select Jalen Green. So how would Jalen Green work for the Grizzlies? Well, since he's a two-guard, that is a position of need for this team. I think he could form one of the most athletic backcourts in the NBA with Ja Morant. You would have that elite playmaking in Ja. You would have that elite scoring in Jalen Green. This is the type of big move that could net, I think, a championship within a few years. And since Memphis is a small market team, small market teams have to make big moves like this. Plus, Jalen Green has a huge following in the Philippines. This would immediately make Memphis the favorite team of about 100 million people. This would give the Grizzlies a new starting lineup of Ja Morant, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas. And look at this bench depth coming off the bench. Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, Grayson Allen, Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman. I don't even have Eric Gordon on here because he probably wouldn't play a ton of minutes. But this is a team that's about 10, 11 guys deep. So why would Houston do it? Well, just look at the package they would get from this. Jaren Jackson Jr., former number 4 overall pick. He is an up-and-coming unicorn, 7 feet tall, hits the 3, block shots. He has a low post game. He's been compared to players like Chris Bosh and Rasheed Wallace. DeAnthony Melton, still in his early 20s, awesome defender. He has an improving three-point shot. Memphis played better with him on the floor this past season. This is the type of guy who's always making an impact, and he fits in with the age range they're trying to get with Jaren Jackson, Christian Wood, and Kevin Porter Jr. Look at this new roster for Houston. You've got John Wall starting at point guard, Kevin Porter Jr. at the 2, Jashawn Tate, who was a great rookie last year, he's at the 3, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4, and Christian Wood at the 5 spot. That's a really good front court. Coming off the bench, DeAnthony Melton, who I just talked about, DJ Augustine at point guard, Daniel House, who can shoot the 3, KJ Martin, who is a player with lots of raw potential, who showed some flashes in his rookie year. Then look at these picks, the 17 pick that you're getting from Memphis, along with picks 23 and 24. This trade will allow the Rockets to build their team up very quickly with quality players and get back into playoff contention within the next couple of years. So who are some of those guys you could get with those draft picks? Some names I like. Zaire Williams, for instance. He's a Stanford man, one-and-done player. He's still really raw right now, but he is getting comparisons to Paul George. Built like a forward, can play like a guard. He didn't have the best year at Stanford, but he was also dealing with not only some personal issues, but also the Stanford team was dealing with a lot of pandemic-related issues. So it's one of those things, how much can we really take away from his year in college? Trey Murphy III is another guy I like. He can bomb it away from 3. He's a Virginia player, and these guys always seem to end up doing pretty well in the NBA. He is a perfect 3-and-D player for the modern league. I think Chris Duarte would be a guy who could help Houston. One of the most experienced players in this draft. He's a wing player who is lights out from 3-point range. He's also a fiery competitor. If you want to go big, you have Isaiah Jackson. He's an exciting prospect who played last year in Kentucky. He could have a similar impact to players like Mitchell Robinson, former Rocket Clint Capella. He's a big man who can block, run to the rim, get rebounds. Roko Prkačin is another big man. He's from Europe. He's a prospect who can play inside, but he can also hit it from deep. He can rebound. He can pass. Plays in the same league as Nikola Jokic, so you know that he's getting some good reps playing overseas. Day'Ron Sharpe is another big man. He is a one-and-done freshman from UNC. With this guy, you're getting a bruiser, you're getting a rebounder, and you're getting an inside scorer. I think his rebounding would really complement Jaren Jackson Jr., who tends to struggle in the rebounding department. Day'Ron Sharpe is an enforcer type of player. He can give you some good minutes eventually. Then another guard, Cameron Thomas, one of the best scorers in the draft. I see him leading a bench unit, and I think one day he could be a legit 6th man of the year candidate. This would be a huge move on draft night for the Grizzlies and the Rockets to make a trade like this. It would really change the trajectory of both teams. That's what I think, but let me know in the comments what you think of this huge move. And what would it do for the NBA to have Jalen Green going to a team like Memphis? And what would it do for Houston to get all these parts to help them rebuild their roster? If you've enjoyed today's video, would love if you drop a like on it. Would love if you subscribe to the channel. Fresh NBA content all the time. Would love to have you be a part of the channel right along with me. Make sure you click the boxes on the screen for more NBA content just like this. My name is Troy. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time on the Half Court Report.